backup.
Oh, I do. I need that dude.
When you look at this passing game that you guys are going to face, what stands out, I guess, is this look like the best, maybe most explosive passing game you guys
Oh,
have
they're
seen?
very explosive. They're explosive. They're fast. They run detailed routes. I think this is a good challenge for us to see where we are, to kind of evaluate where we are, but they're impressive.
Howard, last year, Kansas State ran a little bit more than they had him doing this year. I guess when you've got a guy that's kind of settling into more of their system, how do you prep for that potential for him to escape versus watching his eyes?
Well, I think all quarterbacks can kind of escape when you apply pressure or when you give them those opportunities. I think that's something that we always work week in, week out. Just make sure we can have a plan for the quarterback, because, like I said, anytime a quarterback feels that opportunity, he's probably going to take it.
You mentioned the pressure. There were a couple points in that Boston College game where it looked like the pressure was benefited from your coverage and vice versa.
Those big men we always benefit from those big men. You know, as long as they hunt and apply the pressure, then we just back there just waiting.
Four games into the season, just what have you thought about the way that the defense is coming along?
I think we're coming along. I think we still have some time to kind of some steps that we have to kind of take. But I think we're coming along. We got some young guys that's playing some good ball. We got some older guys that's playing good ball. So it's just a matter of just continuing to take those small steps to kind of improve on a week in, week out basis.
The outcome of the game obviously matters to a degree, but how much more important is it just seeing the gradual improvement, like within the game, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I think it's always important to see that gradual improvement. It's good. It's confidence. So as we continue to go and we just chase just the opportunity to be dominant. Not so much look at the results of the game, but continually putting together series and series of dominant play, and then the outcome is the outcome.
What do you guys feel like you need to tighten up specifically? If there's one area.
So when you ask me that, I'm thinking in terms of secondary. I think we got to tackle better. I think we got to cover better. Do little things, communication. Like those are all things that as I'm going from week to week, I want us to take the next step. And then everything else just kind of takes care of itself. Just playing sound ball consistently. And so how do I go throughout this week and make sure that we have that, we're taking the next step? Those are things that I kind of focus on from week to week.
And then one touchdown run, like one of the DBs and Cal kind of caught when they're trying to push him out of bounds, and he kind of got free. Is that a leverage type thing?
You can always look back and try to figure it out. Sometimes gun shooters get shot. Sometimes bad things happen. When you play man coverage, sometimes they catch the ball. That's all.
That last touchdown, that whole last drive.
We got to play better in terms of coverage.
I saw that Malik went in on that blitz, and I don't know if he got dinged or a little bit there, but I guess the juggling factor that you had with him and Angelo out, and then having Avion Armorian in and going back and forth, I guess when you're already thin, how much do those injuries in game like that kind of?
The expectation is for the men that's on the grass to be able to play and play in a high level. The standard is the standard. So you're gonna get some guys are gonna get dinged up, some guys are gonna come back, and so not really focused on who you have and who you don't have as much as it is do we have the right guys out there in order to get the job done. And in my mind, if you're out there, you're one of the guys that we deem as being able to get the job done. And so we just kind of go from there.
Your guys, I mean, especially guys like Malik and Angelo, I mean, I would imagine they force their way back on the field when they get dinged up like that. But do you feel like that affected them any on that last touchdown at all?
No, I think it's hard, man. It's hard when your guy says, "Hey, I'm ready to go," and you look in his eyes and you see that he's ready to go, and so you throw him out there, and the expectation is for him to get the job done. And unfortunately, we didn't, and so like I said, gun shooters get shot, and sometimes it don't happen for us. We just get back to the drawing board and get going again.
Looking at Ohio State, one of the best offenses in the nation, what have you seen out of them so far?
They're fast, they're explosive, they got guys that can play at every position on every level, and so I think it's a good task for us to have this week.
You guys have had, and I don't think it's just you guys with your situation, but like the offensive line. It looked like a lot of true freshmen are making these trips. I guess even if they don't get in, what's the benefit of bringing those young guys along with you on the road?
I think the benefit is that they get an opportunity to travel, kind of get that under their belt, and then the expectation is if we get to them, I'm talking secondary, is that they play great. So it's always good to travel those young dudes, but I'm traveling the young dude to try to give them some reps.
Do you have anybody you feel like's on the cusp of maybe pushing for playing time? Or would they know
I think they got to take that playing time. You know, I don't give playing time. You don't get awarded playing time just because you make the trip. You're not going to play. In the event that I get to you, then I'm expecting for you to play well.
I feel like the scheme is gone. You've had 4 games as a coach in the scheme and game situations. What do you like about Rossi's defense?
It works. It works. He's multiple. He throws a lot of stuff at us on a weekly basis, and so you accept that challenge. He knows a lot of ball. He has an answer for it, for most issues, and so you lean on him as the leader on in the defense to kind of put us in the right call. And I think he's doing a hell of a job, an amazing job.
as a coach who hasn't worked with a coordinator like that, when you do start to see that it does work, I guess, what's the trust? I mean, that probably builds a trust factor.
I mean, not necessarily that you come into it questioning that it works, because you look at the tape that was there previously, and it works. You're just trying to see how you could take these new pieces and kind of put it into his system. And so the idea is to how do I make it better? How can I help in the situation? And so we collab on it, and he comes up with a plan. He's a mad scientist of some sorts, and I think he's been doing an amazing job.
It feels like the guys have really bought it and picked it up. Like you were saying, there's a lot of new stuff all the time, but it seems like the guys have picked it up to the point where they are playing fast.
They are. I think he does a great job of, amongst many things, and just making sure it's clean. It's easy for the guys to digest, and the whole intention is for guys to play fast. And so that's what the system allows.
For a game like this in particular, where you've got an opponent that he's prepared for multiple, 6, 7, 8 times, when you guys are new guys coming in to face them for the first time, how much are you relying on him? I mean,
Absolutely.
You won't know already, but
Absolutely. You rely on his expertise. I think that's one of the beauties of having him on staff is he brings a wealth of knowledge. He's been in this, he's established in this conference, in this league. So yeah, I'm looking for him to help me as I adjust in this league.
with the running backs that they have, particularly, you saw what Malik did, don't goal line force fumble, I guess, for the safeties in particular, just the down. You know that you can beat them they can beat you over the top, but also they got guys that are going to be downhill. Like, what's the balancing act for those?
Just go where the ball is going.
Talk about, obviously Rossi's familiar with Ohio State, but you guys have been around Chip Kelly or seen his teams over the Pac-12. I mean, so can you talk about the collaboration? Like, you kind of married what you know, what they want to do.
Yeah, so, like with any team, you get some tendencies and kind of get a feel for the coordinator. And it's not like Rossi can't take a look at the tape and get a feel for him, because I think he's good at making adjustments and kind of coming up with a plan and having a secondary plan. Like Rossi's Rossi, like I said, he's a mad scientist.
Are they doing stuff that's different than what they did at UCLA?
No, it's a little different, but it's some similarities. You just kind of prepare a little bit for both of them, but based on what they've done, what the tape shows, that's kind of what you lead with. You kind of go from there.
Sorry.
Go for it.
Those two receivers that they've got with Luka and the freshman. When you've seen them on tape, I mean, how good is that freshman? I mean,
I think he's really good. He's talented. I think all of those guys are talented, on every level, like I said. And so, like I said, it's gonna be a good battle for us, I think.
do you feel like, and having seen him in practice, do you feel like when Nick is right that he's comparable to what you've seen on that kid?
I think we got guys that that should be on the grass with those guys. I think our guys should be on the grass with them. And so,
Oh, I meant like compared to two receivers. Like, if
and
you're
I'm just
freshman-
I'm talking in general.
Oh, okay.
Michigan State has guys that belongs on the field with those guys. So it's not. I don't think they're more talented. They're more explosive. We got guys just like they got guys.